think about space, I think about reverb, like how sound reverberates in a tunnel. In fact, we can hear that already. They have a filter, and we're gonna use this to just have the top section. Only that section is going to have a little bit of space.
Problem here though is if I align it to the bottom, it's going to align to the most bottom point, which is the bottom of the prop. And I don't want that. I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is press L align, and then I'm going to click on the phone. And that will bring all of the alignment dots to the phone. So I'm going to align to the bottom of the phone, and that'll bring the prop up to the phone. So that's it. You made a phone stand. But there's so much more that you can do to it. You can make, like I said, any design. You can make an idiot, you can make it a skeleton, you can make it a heart, you can make the base a heart and the prop a heart, you can put a web there, you can make the base a spider, you can even give it legs.
If I play this video, you can see that the stars aren't moving, they're just static. So we're gonna take this little pick whip and we're gonna drag it from the star layer to the null layer, and that's basically gonna link the two, and now it's gonna feel like it's actually stuck to that layer. So if I play,
let's turn up the size of it so we can see what that looks like. You can definitely see this has sort of a charcoal texture to it. Now we can go over here and mess around with some of the settings. Dual brush is an interesting one that I didn't find out about until somewhat recently, actually. Basically what dual brush does is it allows us to combine two separate brushes into one single brush, which sounds a bit weird, but let me show you what I mean. I've clicked from this icon over to this one. Now when I draw, you can see that it's got a much more wet look to it.
So let's say you've signed up for an Instagram business account. You can check out analytics data for when your followers interact with your posts most often. This is the best way to assess optimal times for your particular audience. A little secret is that photos with a lot of blue hues or tones tend to get greater engagement than those that don't.
So when I click and you want to drag, and you'll see that there's like these little boundaries, these like little curves that show you where your line's gonna go. And what we want to do is we want to line that up with the shape of our watermelon.
So now we have the green selected, and now we're just going to turn up the color tolerance. And what that's going to do is going to tell Premiere, hey, start cutting out or making transparent anything that looks like that has this RGB value, or in this case, just G value pretty much. So we just turn that up, and as you see, the green starts to disappear. Now we want to push it as far as we can until we start to see part of me disappear.
So right here, I've got my wrapped, which is this blue outline. All this light blue is the supports that are gonna have to be removed. This is how it's gonna build when it's in the printer.
In this one, 1/15 of a second, for example, might seem like super quick, but in terms of the camera, 1/5 of the second would still be too long of a time. Like you'll still be getting motion blur. It's only until we get to around 2/50 of a second is when we start getting a person completely in focus.
So we have this right here, and then we have this clip. It's just more of the same thing that's happening, but just like, you know, more rings, more light, it's just amped up a little bit more.
All you gotta do is point your phone at your poster, and there we have it.